promise I'll hold you tight.
Good morning and welcome back to the Now Morning Show, where we are talking to no strangers to the set. But this comes on the heels of an epic performance and tour. Freetown Collective joins us on the Now Morning Show, so we say good morning and welcome to Mohammed Muwakil and Lou Lyons. I had to laugh because, the off-air conversation and the pronunciation. We have the struggle together. This morning, though, no struggles, only clear vocals and an epic tour. Good morning, guys.
Good morning, Mr. Muwakil.
Fine, Mr.
Good morning, Trinidad and Tobago and Ianka. How are you?
I'm good. I'm glad you all are back safely. And I'm glad I'm getting this account from you all and not Rockers, just because you all had an epic opportunity to open for the legendary UB40. That in itself must have been phenomenal. But of course, it gave you the opportunity to do some US and Canada touring. So walk us through. Where have you been?
Our tour started with Harbourfront in Toronto. It was a great experience. It was our first time doing a full-length, let's say 45 to 60-minute performance in Toronto. And you don't always get an idea of how far the music is reaching. So we have family in Toronto. Who knew?
I'm not surprised. Where next?
They came back home briefly, literally for a couple hours, and then headed to London. I headed to Japan. In Japan, there's something called the Yasokoi Festival. It's been going on for about 70 years. It started just after World War II, when some of the businesses were failing. And so it's kind of like our carnival. They have trucks and they have bands, but the bands all learn this one choreographed dance, and they do the dance whole day over and over and over. And I was like, there's no way Trinidadians doing that. But these same people who are accustomed to this festival came to Trinidad and saw our version, basically, of what they were doing, and take the bacchanal back to Japan. So you have all these very conservative people lying in the street to watch these bands do their little dance and whatever, and then you have these people coming down playing Super Blue and Blacks
And you were one of these people,
and whatever, and I there on top of a truck, and it just lights the whole city on fire, and it's really beautiful to see how much they love the culture and appreciate it. Like, you're in the middle of the city called Kochi, which is like 10 hours outside of Tokyo, you know what I mean? And Trinidad culture is alive and well.
The traveling, the 10 hours outside of Tokyo, all right.
Yeah.
So we hit Japan, we hit Canada, we did some, of course, UK dates, multiple locations in UK,
multiple locations. We started with Just Vibes Carnival on Family Day in Greenwich Peninsula. We closed that event. It was something. It was our first show there, but it was also a very good indication of just how much not only Freetown's music is familiar to the air across there, but Caribbean music is a big thing, not only for the diaspora, but people who love music in the UK.
Exactly. One thing that it does is unify us. So regardless of whether or not you're part of the diaspora or you just want to get in, it's a great way to start. And I imagine that in itself created a unique experience in terms of this tour versus others. But I have to ask, aside from the opening for UB40, any particular highlights that stood out to you guys?
Yeah, of course, Wagamamas.
Come again?
Wagamamas.
Explain.
I'm a vegan,
brother,
and it's hard to find good, tasty vegan food. But there's a restaurant introduced to me by Rockers, by J-Ron Remy, called Wagamamas.
Okay.
And
I appreciate that context, because Lord knows my brain went all over the place.
No.
So the food experience was your highlight. Mohammed?
I always appreciate when we're able to create when we did our own show on the 18th, and it was a full house, and being able to create that environment that we create here at home and replicate it, in other spaces, and realize that there's a need and there's a desire in the diaspora for it as we begin to widen. It was beautiful. We had real moments in that show.
Now, what I keep hearing over and over was the impact of soca, the presence of the music, the presence of the Freetown Collective abroad. And I want to talk a little bit about that impact, because we don't often, as consumers of the music, get to appreciate what sort of impact it has on careers, on the industry. Could you enlighten us a little bit from your perspective on what that might have done?
Yes.
The tour, that is.
Sure. As Muhammad said, being able to do our own show in Camden and be able to see a core audience come out in London and sing the songs word for word That's one aspect of it. But to be able to travel, another aspect of it was to be able to travel with our own sound engineer. And if we had the opportunity, we would have traveled with our own stage manager as well. So people don't see the opportunities that touring also create for the technical jobs behind the scene to be able to deliver a good performance.
Yeah, I mean, the caterers, the people who supply the mics, we even found someone over there who's an audio engineer that we ended up working with as well. So yeah, the music creates a very large industry apart from just the music itself.
Having spoken to a sound engineer, interviewing, I understand the specifics of their ability to hear our sound differently is a key part. So completely understand that. But while all these tours and stuff were happening, and we saw some images there from, I think it's Mukesh Mystery, is it, in terms of the photos? I know that you guys were still busy dropping new music. So let's talk about the release that we're going to be enjoying soon. The latest track is called Dream.
Dream.
Yes.
When did it happen? At night. Don't tell me that.
Collaborated with Static.
Oh, okay.
Static a while ago on this. So we've been working on this song for probably about
a little over a year.
Maybe a little more than that. And yeah, I mean, collaborating with Static is always a joy. He actually sent me this as a track that was already written, and I didn't really like it. And then I actually listened to the beat, and then the instrumental was really good, and then started writing to the instrumental, and here we are. Oh, yeah.
It's always interesting with him because, yes, as a producer, he dabbles in the writing, he does a little bit of anything. So the process was actually in studio, or was it, send back? Well, you add and send back kind
in
of
this
situation?
particular case, yeah, I just did the writing, and then we went into studio. So I did the majority of writing outside the studio. But
all right.
yeah.
One of the interesting things that, well, it was interesting to me because we listen to Freetown all the time, but we don't think of categorizing. At least it's just good music for me. And it was described as new calypso.
That's right.
So in terms of Dream, the sound of Dream, are we looking at a little more fast-paced, a slower groove, still in the new calypso wave? How would we describe this one?
Yeah, I would say it's between mid and up tempo, but it's still groovy. It's still very singer-songwriter based. So there's sustained chords, very melodic, not very.
No surprise. I mean,
ragamuffin.
you all better come with it because besides this song, we have activities or music, something coming for Republic Day.
That's right.
Yeah, we back home. And when before we left, we did our acoustic series, our Tight Spaces tour, for the core fans, and we say that we back home and we have a lot of energy to give and a lot of stories to tell. So we want to bring people together in a nicer space on Republic Day at Black Box, to come on here. We hold our little vibes, our small vibes. So
small vibes.
Once we open up the tickets and thing, we'll get them because they'll go quick.
Fair. That's very fair.
The idea is we did a lot of work to perfect the execution of this tour set that we performed, and we think that our home fan base, our residents, deserve to experience that too.
I appreciate that. One thing I appreciated as well was your presence in the Carnival's fair. Feel the Love continues to be one of my favorite Carnival moments. I have a picture that I felt the freedom. What are we getting for Carnival?
We working. Yeah, we actually.
I thought links. I thought I knew people.
Yeah, links off air too.
Okay, all right.
Yeah,
I'll take that. I'll take that. And in that case, I'll take the time to say thank you. Not just for making it this morning. We know the early mornings are rough, but also for continuously giving us beautiful music, for flying the flag high, and for doing yourselves proud opening for UB40. Congratulations to Freetown.
Thank you.
Next time, bring the girls. And next time, we will have even more fun with them because we'll make sure they perform. For now, guys, we are taking a quick break. We're going to come back with more action, more entertainment, more stuff you want to tune into here on the Now Morning Show. Stick around.